Yes, I can hear you.
I was listening to a book and had my Bluetooth speaker on in the kitchen. And so, like, I heard you say hi in the kitchen. So I had to turn it off. Anyways, it was like still connected. So if you can hear me now, that's good.
Awesome.
Okay, here we are.
Worried about my
Oh,
connection,
hey, Jen.
so we'll see.
Yeah. My nephew is here. This is his mom, Jen Foffel, that's on.
Aw.
And so she said she heard him talking in the living room. um, So, hey, how are you? I was telling people right before you got on, but nobody could hear me talking, so I'll repeat it. that we wanted to do this live just to kind of introduce ourselves to another audience, and to be able to talk about the impact scholarship that Beauty Counter's offering, and just sort of like tell our stories as to why we even decided to join the company because we have other jobs. So why did we decide to work with Beauty Counter too?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
You can go first.
Okay, sure. As long as you can still hear me. Now I'm like paranoid that that speaker's
No.
going to turn back on or something. Okay. My name is Jessica Granger and I live in Greenville, South Carolina. I am married to John and we just, I don't know, living the American dream, I guess. I work for a nonprofit during the day. It's a Catholic nonprofit. We have faith and family resources and resources for dads. And we also have a podcast and radio show. So I produce those. I kind of wear like a lot of administrative hats there. And I joined Beauty Counter in February of 2019 after one of my really good friends had joined because I had been following the company for a really long time. And I was like, okay, fine. Tell me everything. Like once she joined, I was like really, really interested. But I really loved what Beauty Counter was doing as far as advocating for laws to change instead of just like selling products. They were like, here's this beautiful eyeshadow. Here, have this. Um, I was really, really turned on to them like fighting for this mission that we have. I have the mission statement printed out in my office to get safer products into the hands of everyone. And just for anyone that's watching this live or on the replay, what that means is not like, let's get everybody to buy Beauty Counter. Like, we would love that, right? Of course, we would love that. But we really are like working at the legal level, like at the federal level, to have regulations put in place so that all products are safer. So that's what we mean by just getting safer products into the hands of everyone. We think all products should be safe. So that's kind of like how I came to be with Beauty Counter. I had not really, I had dabbled in like lower tox living. I have a sister-in-law that has a number of chronic illnesses, and through like education from her and sort of trying to learn about her autoimmune diseases and my own autoimmune diseases that I have, I learned a lot about like food health and like low tox home health, and beauty products are really the last thing that I've started to switch over. Um, so that's me in a nutshell right now. What about you, Laura?
So my name is Lara Gutierrez, and I'm from Chicago. And I was going to say my Monday through Friday job, but my job is not Monday through Friday. It's kind of we're open on Saturdays as well. So my job is I'm an optometrist, and that actually led me to Beauty Counter. So short story, I became a Beauty Counter consultant because I love their products and I wanted to enjoy the discount. And that was initially kind of what got me into it, but then I stayed for everything else that I ended up loving about it. You know, just as Jessica said about the mission, and I'm kind of, I always feel more myself like an introvert, so advocate, those sorts, lobbying, those sorts of things are a little bit overwhelming for me, or the thought of it are overwhelming, but in my own way, I'm doing the work as well, and that makes me happy. So
I'm glad, honestly, like that's not part of our job. Like the way
yeah.
that we advocate, like you and I as consultants, is we aren't like going to the Hill to lobby in Washington. Like we aren't on the lobbying floor and stuff like that. We are selling products to people and having them do the text action and just trying to teach people. So I love that that's not part of my job too.
Think that would be very intimidating for me. And, but, the fact that I think, we play not just a small part in it, but we play a big part in, being able to kind of talk to our communities, again, not just about Beauty Counter, but just about, advocating for safer, laws, I think is really important. And longer story about it is, I was actually at a dry eye conference, maybe about 2 years before I decided to finally join Beauty Counter. And that's actually how I heard about Beauty Counter. I hadn't heard about it before. And, we were talking about the impact of cosmetics and skincare on, the glands and dry eye. They were talking about, different brands that were more recommended because they were cleaner brands. And so, yeah, Beauty Counter came up and I've never heard of this. So I started looking into it. And then I had one of my colleagues join. And so that's kind of how eventually 2 years later, I sat on it for a while. I thought about it for a while. And then I finally decided to join, and I'm so happy I did. So
me too. We were going to talk about like diversity and everything. I think that it's so interesting how much of our stories have in common. Like we've met now because we got to go to a conference together in February. So we met a lot of our colleagues that we usually only Zoom with or Instagram with. So like we got to meet a lot of people in real life, and we're both struck by how different everyone was. Like we're all, different people, but a lot of our stories are the same. Like I also waited a while because I was like a little skeptical. I was skeptical of the direct sales thing and all that. And I didn't say this, like I joined because of the mission. Like that's why I joined Beauty Counter, the company, instead of another company. But I joined for the money, like for the business opportunity, because in talking with my friend, she's been incredibly successful with Beauty Counter, and I know a number of other people that have too. And so I knew that it wasn't just this like, come do this next fun thing. And so like the mission like leveled it up and was like, okay, I'm really gonna do this. It's funny that you mentioned the dry eye conference. The first product I ever bought from Beauty Counter, this is a total side note from joining, is mascara, because my eyelashes used to fall out. I used to get styes all the time. And I remember my optometrist telling me all the time when I was younger, like first started wearing mascara, Jessica, if you do not start washing your face, wash your eye makeup off, you're not going to have eyelashes. Right. And this was like childhood, like whatever, middle school or high school, whenever you start wearing mascara. And anyways, I had been used
for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And so like I would have really large gaps. And I know there is like a natural, just like with the hairs on our head, like there's natural fallout sometimes, but like you're not supposed to lose chunks of eyelashes. And so I would have large gaps. And this went on for years and years and years, like in my 30s. And so mascara was the first thing. I happened to be running out of mascara and tried Beauty Counters, and my eyelashes haven't been falling out since. Like I was like the very first product, I was like, okay, we're going to use Beauty Counter mascara. Like it really matters. The ingredients matter.
It really does. It really does. And I like that it is a clean formula and yet holds up so well. I like it really does. It, makes them, I feel like it makes them longer, and it really like volumizes them. So
yeah,
it's not just a formula, but it's actually effective. It does what it says it's going to do.
Yeah. I think a lot of our products are, I always say, like nourishing for your skin. Like, sure, you can like take care of wrinkles or exfoliate your skin or whatever, but also like I feel like all of our products have some kind of nutrients to them. Like the mascara, for instance, has an eyelash serum in it. It has ingredients that do help the health of your lashes over time. So like you don't have to use an eyelash serum and a mascara. You just use this and you get both. And so like that's saving you money, But yeah, like all the skincare products, like they always have like a second benefit that's like actually nourishing your skin, not just cleaning it, not just toning it. Like it's really doing something good for it too.
No, I agree. I do love that about all of our products. And, like for years, I shopped at Whole Foods, but, I feel that the biggest difference was that, they were, some of them were not even as clean as you'd think that they would be.
Mm-hmm.
And and you just never knew what you were going to get. So you still had to read labels and everything. So I like that. I knew what was not going to be in the products that I was going to be using. And I was happy about our long list of, products that aren't, ingredients that are not in our products.
Yeah.
But, also that they're effective, because yes, you can use, maybe jojoba oil on its own and, yeah, it might be nourishing, but, you're not going to get maybe necessarily a lot of other benefits. And I feel
Yep.
that, our products really do, everything, so they're clean and yet, effective in, you know, with other. So I love that about, Beauty Counter. And,
Yeah,
like
me too.
too, that you got in it for the business aspect of it. I honestly thought that I just wanted to get, the discount, and I honestly didn't even see myself, making it a business.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it really has become that. I mean, and I love that I have like an extra income every month, and you know, I think that that's even something again that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to grow this, and it really has become that. And I love that about it. And I I always think like, oh my gosh, if I could do that, when I wasn't intending to, then
Mm-hmm.
there's just so many missed opportunities for other people that can definitely do this.
I know. Something that surprised me, besides, I always say that the community, like I may have never met you in my life, like the rest of my life, if it hadn't been for Beauty Counter. And I know that goes for any company that people work for. It's like, well, I would have met so and so if I didn't work in that cubicle office or, whatever. But the community aspect is something that I always mention. But something I was like really surprised by was how how ridiculous I felt about being nervous about starting, like joining. Like it just wasn't that big of a deal. Once I got into it, like, yes, you have to work. Yes, you have to talk to people if you want to tell them that you work for Beauty Counter, if you want them to buy products, like you have to let them know. But it just wasn't like that big of a deal once I clicked the join button. Like, I mean, my palms were sweating and I was like, I'm really going to do this. I'm going to do this. I texted my friend and was like, I did it. I just joined. I just joined. And like, nothing happened.
Oh, I like sat on it for so long, and like I think I maybe even like lost sleep about it. Am I doing it
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then afterwards I was like, why did it take me so long? Why didn't I just jump in on this? It was Yeah, it was really funny. But I was the same way.
And like, even we had talked about this a little bit, so I wanted to tell them like I've had some really low months as far as like sales go and stuff like that. I have never once in 3.5 years wanted to quit this job. Even one month I made like $30. Okay, that's not a paycheck that's going to pay my mortgage. But I've had months where I've paid my mortgage. Like there's different, it totally ebbs and flows. And even on that $30 month, like I remember the month. It was my first year. It was one of the months of my first year. And I still loved every day being a Beauty Counter consultant. I loved getting to go to our meetings together, like we have once a month. And just connecting with other people. I don't know. It's just not as scary once you're like on this side of it.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I think that that's what, I think that that's also what, connected you and I, right? Is the fact that we also both work full time. So Beauty
Yeah.
Counter is not our sole source of income, but yet we have been able to grow our business, and we have been able to find pockets in our day to actually make this business grow. And I think, that's a different perspective than maybe some other, fellow consultants in our group, right? But
Yeah.
yeah. So how do you work your business on a day to day or?
I've tried like a few different systems over the years. Something that like our team leaders have given us is kind of like what Lauren Verrill on our team has when she very first started. So I just copy what other people do. That's what I've done. And she kind of had this system for like Monday she did thank you notes, Tuesday she did, kind of a different theme every day. And that has worked best for me. But I've done a number of different things over the years. My husband recently started a new job where he's sometimes now working in the evening. So when I get home from work, he's not here. And this isn't meant to sound bad, but that means that I don't need to like get dinner ready and go and like it's almost like I have extra time because I'm by myself when I get home. Because that's just like something like big on my heart when I get home and John's home. I don't want to like lock in the office all night. I want to be with him. So I have found there's times where like I've honestly worked 10 minutes a day. And it's like, you have maybe a list of people you wanted to talk to or send out an email to clients or film an Instagram video. I don't know. There's so many different like things you can do. By the way, social media is not a requirement to be a beauty counter consultant. And then there's times when like I've not worked all week and only worked on Fridays because my full-time job, I really only work Monday through Thursday. So Fridays I'm off. And I don't know. I find I work better. Like I enjoy it more when I do a little bit every day though. And I mean, I've made so much progress, like growth, business, personal development, all of it, even just working like 10 and 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Honestly, like people say that and I probably didn't believe that from like the outside. Like I probably was like, yeah, right. Like you can't, how are you going to like make a business doing that? But it works. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you do it?
I agree. I think I've tried different methods, and I'm not always consistent about doing it the same way every time, right? But like I'm also working 4 days a week right now, and I'm really happy with that because then I can dedicate like one day to Beauty Counter. Well, not just Counter, but it's like my thing, the day that I do my own thing, right? But and I include Beauty Counter in that, because I do have to, set aside some time for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I, during my lunch break at work, if I, had some recent purchases, and that's when I write my thank you cards if I have time to do it. I just kind of take my cards to work and, I do it there, or I'm sending emails or text messages. And, really like yeah, I mean, I fill in whatever pockets I can, and it's just very doable. And actually, like all the girls on my team, they all have jobs, and they're mothers, and so they're busy, but yet they're also able to make this work. And I think it's also something that we enjoy very much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we didn't enjoy it, it would be a lot harder to get yourself to do it.
Yeah.
So I see it like a job. I mean, I think it's just nice that I have this thing that I can do and sell products that I enjoy and I love, and actually make an income from it, an extra income from it, right?
Yeah.
Try to fill it in wherever I can. But yeah, sometimes it does require, making, putting it in my phone. Okay, this day I'm going to do this, this, and this, and having like a list of what to do. And it is so helpful that our bigger team has, so many systems for us to work with, and that makes it so much more helpful when I actually do them. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I guess that was another thing that surprised me too, was like the level of support. Because I've got so many friends that have done different types of businesses throughout their life, like through our adult life, like different direct sales kind of businesses.
yeah,
And that seems to be something that's mentioned a lot, is that like, oh, well, like you're just all on your own and you're like floundering about.
right.
And I'm like, I've never one day felt that way, because I really think that our team is the best. I've never been on another team, but I just think that our whole organization, it's filled with people that lead with a servant's heart, and they like really care about us, about the clients that we're serving, about the clients they're serving. And I think it shows. Like everybody that's like joined before me, this, like everyone that's joined before us, like helps us. Like they don't make sales for us. They aren't like calling our friends and being like, hey, remember when I was telling you about that moisturizer? They don't do that, but like they have all these systems and like coaching calls and stuff. They're there to like help you. That was a big surprise to me, to not be completely alone. Like you're not just like, what do I do?
No, I think that that has been extremely helpful. And then, how we have the boards app now, which, you basically,
Yeah.
if you have a little, like maybe 5-10 minutes, you could just click on that and find something to do, when
Yeah.
you have like a clear thought of like what, what task you want to get done that day, then, you go to the boards app and it kind of helps you figure it out.
Yeah, I get stuck in mine. It is really nice. I get stuck in my head. Like if I'm a planner person, like a paper planner person, I've got to have stuff written down. My thyroid brain, ADHD brain, it just doesn't work unless like I have it written down, because I'll sit down at my desk and be like, okay, what do I do? Like the boards app is so helpful.
Did
What did
you,
you want? What?
yeah, I was going to say, did you talk about the impact
Yeah,
scholarship?
let's talk about the impact scholarship real quick, because that I don't know if this will be backwards to you. It probably is. But I just want to tell you what the Impact Scholarship is and what you get with it. It is a free scholarship that you can apply for. So it's free to apply, I mean. And what it is Beautycounter is giving away 25 free consultant kits per month. And that means that your $50 fee to join is free, which it's only $21 if you're already a Band of Beauty member, like if you're part of our VIP membership. But even still, they would pay the $50 for you to join, and you get the largest consultant kit, which I think it's like $1,700.
Yes.
And the starter kits are optional, like when you join as a consultant, but if you were to be honored this scholarship, you would get the largest kit regardless. And so you're a Beautycounter consultant for free from that. And then, you try to sell products and you really get to like.
You also get that extra to bring a friend on to become a consultant as well, which is amazing, because I feel like, yes, this is great doing it and we have an awesome community, but if you could do this with a friend, it makes it so much more fun, and, why not? And so I think that's really great that they offer that as well. So it's like, three big things, right? You get your free enrollment, and you get, I think it's the deluxe starter kit that has the main, like all the main regimens, and then some of the hero products. And then that, I can't remember what the technical
They
word
call
is.
it a pay it forward code.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I think like, I feel like you should apply every month. Like, why not? Because it's free to apply. You get it. Great. If you don't get it, okay, apply the next month, But, and then joining, whether or not you have the Impact Scholarship, if you just join, it's through the end of December. New consultants are getting an extra 10% commission, which means that new consultants, so they'll get paid more than us. You get 10% on top of, so we typically earn 25 to 35%, and that's all based on the number of sales. It's like any other sales structure. But new consultants will get anywhere from 35 to 45%. So your base commission is 35. You sell a $100 bottle of something, you get $35. Like,
Yeah.
did I do the math right? I kept wanting to say 350, but it's $35, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm really bad at math, but yes.
That's crazy. I used to work at a bridal shop and I made $25 a dress that I sold. And I was selling like thousands of dollars of dresses, and I would make 25. I mean, we got paid like a minimum wage or something too, but
Right.
I'm just saying the commission, that's why people that talk about the Beautycounter opportunity, like the business is legit. Like if you're interested in it.
No, it really is. And I think, and I think the biggest thing is that, you know, I'm not going to sell something, and I wouldn't sell something that I didn't truly believe in how clean it was, and, whether it was effective or not. Yeah, it's not every single product is going to be for every single person, right? But
Yeah, we have different skin types,
but we have a really great selection of products, and we don't have like thousands of, products. But what we have, they've really been very selective in what the products they come up with, and they're really great, honestly. Like, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be doing this if they weren't, something good. So I'm definitely not going to sell you something that I don't think is a great product or, works well, or, no. And we have that amazing, return policy as well, right? I mean, 60 days, empty bottle.
Yeah.
So
You can
ass.
use all of it and still
Yeah.
return it.
And again, the point is, because really, if you feel like it was terrible, you didn't like it, then, by all means, we want to make sure you're happy with it and that you love it. So, I think there's definitely a lot of positives in this. And
Yeah.
I think, the biggest thing about this, impact scholarship, I think one of the biggest reasons that they're trying to do this is to really get underrepresented communities into Beauty Counter. We want to be able to reach out to a lot of different people in a lot of different communities, because it is important. And I don't know that everybody realizes, what you put on your skin, what you put, the impact that it can have in your long-term health. And I think that, why that's what our mission is. And that's why I love that we're doing this impact scholarship, because maybe not everybody has the funds right now to, get started on a big, deluxe starter kit, right? I mean, it can be a hefty price, from the get-go. And so, but it's a really great way to really start off your business and have those products available to show people. And yeah, I mean, I think it's really an amazing way. So I think our enrollment period is from the 1st to the 8th of every month, correct?
For the impact scholarship, it's through the 8th. Yeah. You can enroll any day, but to apply for the scholarship, it has to be before, like, by the 8th, the end of the day on the 8th.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely an opportunity to look into, if it's something that, anybody's interested in that. I think it's definitely worth looking into that impact scholarship. And then otherwise, any other day you can join. And, like Jessica said, right now we have amazing incentives for new consultants, which is, yeah. We definitely
unheard of. It's the first time, and my guess would be the last time they'll ever do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoever's on, like, if you ever have questions, obviously, like, if you're following me, feel free to reach out. Laura, to either of us would be happy to answer any questions. Like, you don't have to go into this blind. Like I said, you're never alone, but you don't need to go into it blind. Like, just, we're happy to answer questions.
Yes. And, we met in February, and it's been such a lovely experience. I joined right before COVID hit. And so basically all the people that I had been meeting was just, mostly on our team meetings via Zoom, or, even in our smaller meetings, still via Zoom. So it's just so wonderful to, like, meet all these people. And, I always said, like, I have a really good group of friends that I've had for a very long time, and I love them and I can always count on them. And I'm like, here I am, like, with this new community of people that I never knew I never knew that I needed in my life. So you just never know who you meet. And, it's not just, like I said, it's not just about selling, it's about community, it's about mission, and, advocating for others that, maybe can't or don't know that they should be. So
yeah, I love it. I'm so glad that I got to meet you in February in real life. Now when I see you on Zoom, I'm like, oh, there's my friend Laura. Okay, real quick before we wrap up, what's your favorite Beauty Counter product? I like sharing this.
this is a really hard one.
Well, yeah. Top 3.
Any. Wait, you said give you my top 3?
Sure.
That's a little easier. Okay, vitamin C serum for sure. That is amazing. It's got so many benefits, and like, I have rosacea, and my skin.
Me too.
My skin.
I don't have on a stitch of makeup today. Hi, you can be a Beauty Counter consultant and not wear makeup. Like, it's totally possible.
Hey, that's why we do skincare, because it makes our skin better, and you don't have to. Actually, I'm not wearing makeup either. I think I have concealer and mascara. That was it because that's I have to wear a mask at work, so that's the only thing that shows. So, um,
Yeah.
but so the vitamin C serum is, my I think my top three for sure. And what else do I love? I love the Supreme Cream from Counter Time. My skin is, aside from having rosacea, it's also very dry. And so it's just really nourishing and it really helps to soothe my skin. And then Dew Skin, Dew Tinted Moisturizer. I absolutely that. And I love that it's a multitasker, right? It's sunscreen. It, again, because of rosacea, I need sometimes that little bit of coverage, and it's a very light coverage, but, it has the SPF. So I love that. So what are
Yeah.
you?
The vitamin C serum is a product. I had never used one before Beauty Counter before they came out with theirs. And it is like a product I never knew that I needed or even thought. I was like, that is so extra. That is not in my wheelhouse. I never want to live without it. I'm obsessed with it. Dew Skin for sure is one of mine. It was one of the first things I got to after my mascara because I've had skin cancer. I don't want any more of it. I like that it has sun protection. And like I work at a desk all day in front of a computer. It also has the HEV protection. So that's the blue light that you get from screens and all, and it causes wrinkles. So the Dew Skin helps with that. And then I have to say mascara because when I switched to using Beauty Counter's mascara, my eyelashes stopped falling out. So like that has to be one of the top.
Yes.
But yeah.
I love it.
It's so good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too. Thank you everyone who joined us or who's watching the recording.
Yeah. I'll get this posted and so we can share it afterwards, okay? I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Jessica, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.